right, so we're just going to get started. So like I said, if you're on here, you guys, this is very informal. This is just for you. A lot of us are just, we like to be able to connect with you face to face. And obviously that's not always possible depending on where people are or with the times, how they've been. But dang, is it nice to be able to see people's faces and to feel as close to them as possible. So when it comes to this, we just want to hop on it. We are not going to take a lot of your time at all. Really, it doesn't take a long time to even explain not only the business and what we get to do and how we make an income from home, but even we're just going to touch on some of the things that, you know, people are nervous about, a lot of the commonly asked questions or fears or doubts that hold people back. And then just tell you if it seems like a right fit for you, or like I said, if you have a specific question that we don't touch on.
Are you in here for my phone?
Oh,
no.
One sec. Oh, she made it herself. Okay, or if there's something that you really want to ask, please just be bold and ask it in the chat, because that's what we're here for, is for you. So my name is Sarah O'Connell, and I'm an Ambassador Diamond. I've actually this month have been with this company and been doing this fun gig from home for almost 9 years. So Lisa's on tonight with me, Katrina's on, and we are all just going to share a little bit of how we found it works, why we got started and gave this business a shot, and what it's done in our lives. Because I promise you, where we started and what it's done with us has completely overexceeded any expectation that we truly had. But you will also find that we started with a lot of doubts, fears that you possibly have, you know, as you're contemplating this. And I always tell people, you just don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, you truly don't know until you try either. Okay, so I'm going to pop off. Lisa's going to share first. The cool thing about all three of us is we have completely different backgrounds. So you're going to hear one thing we have in common, we're all moms. But one thing is, like, you will see that Lisa did something completely different. You know, Katrina's still doing her thing. I did something. And it's funny because as I listened to us, when we shared even last week, as I listened to us tell our stories, we didn't add this in because we were in an unhappy place. We knew where we were at. We knew what we were doing and where that was going to get us. And we were just looking for something a little bit more. So Lisa, go ahead and start and share your story.
Hi, you guys. So my name's Lisa Alonso. I've been doing this business for 7 years, which is so crazy because it was the same amount of time that I was at my last job. I did hair, and it's just crazy that now I've been doing this the same amount of time, which is, it still trips me out. But I started this business 7 years ago, and I was actually on maternity leave, unpaid maternity leave. So I did hair, and if you've ever done hair, you know that you don't get paid maternity leave. You don't get paid time off. Like, it does not work like that, unfortunately. So I was home with my daughter, and I actually was introduced to this business through a hair client, and it just started with the products. And I had tried a wrap, and I obviously had 2 kids. We actually traded a wrap for a haircut because I didn't have the money to spare without any money coming in. And I was hooked. And unfortunately, she only needed like 1 haircut every 6 weeks. So it's not like I could get wraps as often as I would like to. So then she pitched me the business, and she was like, you know what, maybe you should do this. Like, even if it's just to make enough money to purchase the products that you want to try. And I was like, yeah, no. Like, I have 2 kids under the age 3 and under. Like, I don't have time. My life is just too crazy. I'm still taking a few hair clients just to try and bring in a little extra money. Like, I do not have the time. And for 2 months, she was like, I think you should try it. I think you should try it. And I was like, nope, it's not going to happen. Like, I don't even go on social media other than like once a month to post a picture of my kids. Like, I can't do that. I've never sold a thing in my life. Like, it's just not for me. And then I remember one night, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. Olivia, which was my baby at the time, was not feeling good. So she was not sleeping good. I was up breastfeeding, and I was just rocking her and feeding her. And I remember thinking, I would have to wake up in a few hours and have to go to work. And she would be home sick, not feeling good. I would still have to pump in the lunchroom. And it was probably at that moment that I was more scared of that than I was of starting this business. And I started at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got on my phone, I clicked submit, and instantly thought, what the heck did I just do? And I was like, can I like reverse this? Like, is there any way that I can redo this? I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. But honestly, I'm so thankful for that little nudge of fear, because I feel like if I wouldn't have been more scared of having to go back to work and having to miss my second child growing up. Like I saw our son ride a bike through for the first time through a video, and it was through a Blueberry or Blackberry. What was the phone? Blackberry? I don't even remember. Blackberry video that my husband sent me. So it was not good quality. It wasn't like this kind of quality. And that's how I watched my son ride a bike for the first time while I was at the salon. And I remember just crying, and I was like, I don't want to have to do that again. So if I could just drag this out just at least until I'm done breastfeeding, I would be so happy. So I started with the goal of an extra $300 a month. I was like, okay, if I can make that and help with the bill or two, I could stretch this sucker out until at least I'm done breastfeeding. It's been 7 years and I never had to go back. So I would say that this turned into something that I wasn't even expecting. I joined for an extra $300 a month just to push out that maternity leave. And I feel like, I mean, I'm sure, I know for a fact, all the girls will say the exact same thing, that we started for something so small, and not that $300 a month is small, but you just start to see how big this can be and how many gaps it can fill, and not just financially, but like, you know, I can do this business while my kids are on the other side of this wall. I could do this business in the drive-through line picking up my kids from school. I can do this business while we're at the park. I can do this business in so many different ways that doing hair didn't allow. Like, in order to make money, I had to be behind that chair. And so I went from just starting for an extra $300 to surpassing my entire yearly amount in just 7 months. And then in 8 months, I surpassed my husband's full-time income in 8 months, which is insane. And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm never going back. I'm all in, like, let's do this. And I have yet to have to go back. It has changed our life in so many ways. My daughter doesn't know anything other than me being home for everything. She doesn't know anything other than, well, yeah, mom works from her phone. Like, mom has a bunch of friends that also work from their phone, and we get to do fun things and we get to travel. And, you know, not even just that, but like, I was able to pay off my student loans years and years and years before I would have been able to just working my 9 to 5. I was able to pay off all of our medical debt, all of our credit card debt. And actually this month we're paying off my dream vehicle years in advance than we would have been able to working my 9 to 5. So even if, you know, that's something that you might not be able to see now, we all started there. We all started for just that little amount that would help us get to whatever it may be, more freedom of time, you know, maybe drop a shift, whatever it may be. I was like, okay, if I can make an extra $300, that means my husband can take a day off and it not completely cripple us financially. And it just turned into something completely different. And here I am 7 years later, still loving it, living it. It's great.
I absolutely love that. And I love when you said, like, even if your husband could take a day off without feeling guilty, it's like, that is something I can so relate to. And I'm sure there's other people on their Zoom that are like, yes, I get that. Because there's so many times when you have big goals and dreams, or maybe you even have student loans, or like you said, you have car loans, and you're like, oh my gosh, if I could just get that paid off. So the thing is like, when you get those opportunities, it's really hard to turn them down, right? It's like you're having to choose between time with your family, or do I keep going really hard for my goals? And so I think you'll hear in all of our stories, it's just awesome because we could still be with our family and still do this. Like, you're going to see that by adding something in, you get to add more of what you like. So there's no like picking and choosing. You get to just say, like, I actually want to do it all. And that's the really cool thing. So thank you for sharing that, Lisa. And Katrina, go ahead and share your story and kind of how you came across It Works and why you started.
Hi, ladies. So like Lisa says, you can do this anywhere. I'm in the car right now. I didn't plan to be in the car right now, but that's how it worked out. And that's what's so amazing about this business, is that it doesn't change your day. Like, you fit it into your day and just make it work. I've also been with It Works for 6 years. It'll be 7 years in July. So that's super exciting. I went to a wrap party just to try on a wrap I was excited to try the product. I had been seeing it on Facebook. So I went with that in mind, and I came home a distributor. So I'm pretty impulsive. The girl there was like, you can get one for 20, we can get 4 for 100. I wraps with my distributor kit. I was just all about the wrap. So I came home a distributor, and I honestly did not know what I had my hands on. I had at some point just had a mindset, or just decided that, okay, I'm a school teacher, so with that comes a lower income, and that's what that is. And I never even dreamed that I could do the things that have happened, that I've been able to do with this company. And so I left, I went home, and then I started looking through the catalog and the compensation plan, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have my hands on something huge. I set out to make an extra $500 a month. That was like a really big goal, and I thought this will be perfect. Like I can keep teaching and have that extra $500 a month. You know, I know a lot of parents can relate to situations when you're struggling, and I had went through single mom phases where I'm sitting at a gas station and it's 2 days before payday and I've got $10 in my account, and I just thought this is what it is, because teachers just don't make a lot of money. And this company completely changed that for me. I was able to grab bonuses and compensations. I mean, it's commissions. It's just so amazing what this company can do for you. And I've been doing it, like I said, now for 6 years, and it fit in to my life, raising the boys. I have 4 boys who have been, like Lisa says, they don't know much different than this being what it is. You know, I'm like, well, I got a Zoom right now, or I've got a party, I got a rap thing, and it's just what it is. This is mom's life now. And I'm just really happy that I was able to keep teaching. And so I was able to keep doing what I wanted to do, because I was honestly at a point where I was looking at like making a career change. You know, I was thinking, I can't keep doing this anymore. And I love what I do, but just living pay to day, just couldn't keep doing that. And this completely changed that for me. So it's been a total game changer. I was just super impulsive. And I just say, you know, if you're thinking about joining, just join. Like there's such little risk to it, you know, just take that chance and see what happens. It's such a huge, huge opportunity.
Thank you, Katrina. And you know what is so crazy is that you'll find too, and I'll share my story in just a second, but Katrina even just saying like you obviously are called to be a teacher. We want people who love teaching. I mean, as a mom, I know I do. And the thing is like, it's so sad to even think like, oh my gosh, you would have thought to change careers, even though that's what you are great at doing and you love to do. Because of that, you know, so when she talks about that, it's like, you can add this in, and honestly, you can also love your job. And that was truly where I was too. But what's amazing that I found, even within a few short months of doing this business, is that this can fill a lot of gaps that you might not even know need filling. That's how it truly was for me. And so there were things maybe with my career that it was just not part of it, you guys. Like there's not trips, there's not bonuses, there's not these different things. But guess what? By adding this in, I like kind of created my full package, because you can get what you want from this, right? You get what you put in type thing. So just a little bit about me. I'm a mom of 3. I found this business from a friend that was sharing on social media. And it was like, I think I found it and I had already returned back to work. So it was after my first kiddo and I had maternity leave. Y'all, I have worked since I've been like, I always joke with Lisa too. I'm like, I think I actually was working before it was legal to work, because my dad had a shop and then there was like this little pizza shop next to us. And I went over and I was like, I want to be a pizza artist. And so working has always been me. I've always enjoyed working. I love it. I am grateful to say that most of my jobs I've actually truly really loved. But the crazy thing is being a mom changes you. So I remember after, hold on, I'm just gonna make sure everyone is muted. I think everybody is. Anyways, so I returned back to work. So I had maternity leave. That was the first time that I honestly had probably had more than 10 days off. And I just remember what it felt like. I think I got a small glimpse of what it was like to actually have that time and be able to I was getting paid, right? I was still getting paid because I had PTO. So it was after I returned to work. I remember on maternity leave, I was telling my husband, I'm like, I do want to return back full time, but I was like, I'm no longer going to pick up extras. So I worked as a nurse. I was a charge nurse on our labor and delivery unit. I worked night shift, absolutely loved it. However, once I had my first kid, I'm like, you know what? I do want that time home. I don't want to feel guilty, like saying no to those extra shifts. And so I vowed, going back to work full time, I was like, I'm no longer picking up the extra shifts. And those extra shifts were great because it allowed us to pay extra on my student loans. It allowed us, we have family that all lives away from us. So it allowed us to do those extra things without getting into debt. And so I remember thinking, dang, like I'm giving that up. But literally a month after returning back to work, I found this business and I thought, you know what, Sarah? No, it's nothing like you've ever done before. And yes, you're scared and you're thinking, what the heck are you doing? Like, you are not qualified for this, right? But the thing is it fit everything I truly wanted. And so I had to ask myself, okay, yes, you think all these things over here, but would you like to be able to create an income from home? And the answer was yes. So I also didn't overthink it. I just went for it. And my goal was an extra $500 a month as well. So Katrina said that Lisa's was 300. So you will see that a lot of people are in that range. And a lot of times, like for many, that may seem like a small amount, but at the same time, it's reasonable. And I always say, like, those reasonable goals, I will never underestimate them because you can change them into anything you want. But hot dang, if that's what gets you to get started and pull the trigger, like it has changed all of our lives, right? So that meant an extra shift for me. And that's what I started for. And honestly, adding this in just allowed me to add and fill the gaps that my job didn't have. And I never picked up an extra shift again, which was amazing. It allowed me to back down on hours when I wanted to. It allowed us to still work less away from the home, but actually make more movement on the goals that we had. So it allowed me to pay off my student loans within 3 months instead of the 30-year plan. We paid cash for our wedding. We saved for a home. We still got to go travel and see family. You know, it's like we weren't having to pick and choose. And at the end of it, it was so fun and I didn't feel burnt out because it was so different than my career was. So it was just neat because it offered us the finances, but we also had the flexibility and freedom. And I think it's really hard to be able to mush all three of those together. A lot of times it's like you have the finances, but you're giving up the flexibility and the freedom. Or you have the flexibility and the freedom, but at the cost of the finances, right? And I think here, so many of us get to have all those things together. So that's a little bit of my story. And you get to hear 3 different people. We all have different educational backgrounds. We all come from different backgrounds. And the funny thing is, none of us knew each other until we joined this business. Now we get to work daily together. But a little bit about what we do. So I'm going to share a little bit about what we do, how we actually do this business. Lisa's going to go over quickly just some fears and some doubts that we see on a regular basis. Like I said, I've been in for 9 years. I think Lisa said 7, Katrina said 6. There's other people on here that have been here for a really long time too. So as you can see, so many times people think, oh, it's good while it lasts. Like, no, it lasts as long as you're willing to work, right? And as long as you're willing to grow. So a lot of us have actually truly done this business now as long as we had been at our careers prior. So this can turn into whatever you want it to. But what do we do, you guys? We get to do social selling. So just how you would normally share with a friend, like products that you like, or makeup, or a restaurant, or maybe it's like a service, or your hairdresser, or whoever it is. That is truly what we do with a line of plant-based products that are clean products that focus on an array of different things. So really it focuses on being healthy from the inside out. So it has beauty products, it has supplements, it has things to help with better sleep, it has things to help with better energy, getting, the nutrients that your body needs. It has weight loss stuff, it has body contouring wraps, it has all different things. And the cool thing is, you guys, is that you don't have to be a salesperson because the products truly sell themselves. And if that's one thing that we have found, it's products that both men and women want. It's from all ages will be wanting it. And for most of us, it's like, if you're sharing, people are going to be like, where do I get it? Where do I get this? Right? And so that's what we have all found. And while you get to share, you also get to find the products that you enjoy using, and so that you can truly feel your best as well. So I always say beauty and health, it is something that never goes out of style, right? It's not a phase. It's like always here, right? So that's good job security. And then on top of that, you get to share your discount. So everyone loves a good discount, right? And so the cool thing is with It Works is that we are the one company that our customers can get the same discount that we actually get as brand ambassadors. You are not truly going to find that anywhere else. So we get to offer that to them, which is amazing. And then you also just get a replicated website. So one of the things that I always share is like, they keep it as simple as possible. And I think that was very like alluring to me because I'm like, yes, that's what I want. I don't want to carry inventory. I don't want to have to create these things because I didn't even know where to start, right? But they make it very, very simple for you. People can order on your website. The products get shipped to them, which allows you to build your business globally. And like I said, you don't have to carry inventory, and that's really neat. So the only products that you would truly have on hand are products that you want to use to be able to share the different products or share your testimony or the things that you love. And you get paid to do so. So that's pretty neat. And then on top of that, you also get to share the opportunity, just like we are doing tonight. And for those that, you guys, I promise you, you may not know, you may be like, Sarah, I have zero clue who would join me. Guess what? I didn't either. But I'm going to tell you that as you start opening up and you share why you get started and what you were doing or what you're going for, I promise you, they all just start flocking in and they're like, hey, I want to do that too. You just have to be bold enough to share. And it was crazy because I thought the same thing until I started sharing and I realized there are so many people looking for a plan B or need the flexibility or are looking to be able to supplement their income, and how cool that they can do it amongst a community that is so supportive. So you get to share that, and you get to work together. And honestly, there's going to be so much even learning together. So we get paid multiple ways. That's also really neat. You can get paid daily, weekly, monthly, and then on top of that, they also offer bonuses. So one thing that you're going to hear us talk about with It Works is they're a debt-free company. So they offer huge bonuses. And I remember when I started, I was like, what? Like you wonder to yourself, you're like, there's no way people get those, right? Like, is that the carrot that like dangles in front of you? But you know what, you guys, I followed the system that they laid out in front of us. I always say, like, if you can read, you can do this business. If you have a goal that has meaning, you're going to have motivation, right? So that is literally what I did. And I remember them offering this $10,000 bonus. I didn't know if you could get it, but guess what? I got it. Lisa's gotten bonuses. Katrina's gotten bonuses. We've all gotten bonuses. And there's bonuses for you guys as well. So you would be eligible to get those. And so you're truly just paid off of your efforts. So you get to make that whatever you want to make that. But just know that we're going to be here along the way to show you exactly how to do that. So Lisa, just touch on some of the doubts and fears that we hear on a regular basis. So that way people just know that they're not alone because we've all felt them.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like I had every excuse, every doubt, every fear. And I would say that most of it stemmed from my own personal belief in myself. Like I just didn't feel like I was capable. Just like Sarah said, like you see these bonuses and I'm like, that's great. And I get that people earn that, but that kind of stuff just doesn't happen for me. Like that's not going to be happening for me. I'm going to earn my extra $300 and then I'm going to go along my merry way. But it's crazy how like once you scratch off one goal, you're like, holy moly, I might be able to like up this ante a little bit and see if I can go after that. And it just kind of snowballs. That same $10,000 bonus that Sarah earned, I was able to earn that for myself. I was able to earn that for my husband. And so many people on my team have been able to earn that. So it's something that it might seem so far out of reach to you right now, and that's normal. I want to tell you, I was like, there's no way that that's happening. The only bonus I have ever earned was a $25 gas card for selling the most products at the salon for the month. $25 in gas. That probably didn't even last me a week driving to and from the salon. But I was like over the moon. I was like, oh my gosh. And then you earn that $10,000 bonus and you're like, wait, what? And one thing is that I would say the number one thing that I get when it comes to fears is not good at sales. And I tell this to people all the time. I'm not successful in this business because I love sales. I don't. I've never worked in sales a day in my life. I still don't even feel like I've worked a day in sales in my life. I'm good at this business because I just love the freedom that comes with it. That freedom is what pushes me forward. Same thing with you. Like you don't have to love sales. I don't think anyone in our business loves sales. It's just the way that we're able to work this business, and our products sell themselves. I just turned 34 years old. My skin has never looked better. My hair has never been longer. Like our products just sell themselves. And I feel like that's one of the best things that you could possibly back is a product that you don't even have to force down people's throats. They just need to see the results and they're like, I'm sold. And 7 years later, I just signed 2 customers today. Like, we don't have an amount of people that don't want to take advantage of these products. And the good thing is that we started with wraps. Like, I would say all of the products that we have right now, especially our top sellers, we didn't even have them when I joined. We continually come out with new and amazing things. Another thing too that people always say is they don't have enough time. When I joined this business, I had 2 kids, 3 and under. So I had 0 time, 0. And I always tell people, if you can go into your phone and you can go to your screen time, and then it says that you were on anything for 30 minutes or more, you have more than enough time to work this business. Whether it's you're on Netflix, you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, because we all know TikTok will suck you up, and you're like an hour later and you're like, what the heck just happened? So you have more than enough time. And I've worked this business very much part-time. I would say all the way up to Triple Diamond, which is the first VIP level in our company. That's the beautiful thing about this business is you don't have to know how to work this business. You have me, you have Katrina, you have Sarah, you have all of these people, just like I did when I joined, that will literally show you how to fit this into 10-minute increments, 15-minute increments, 30 minutes in your entire day. You don't have to have a lot of time, which is crazy too. I always tell people, I've worked a heck of a lot more in other businesses for a heck of a lot less, which is so crazy to me. And I feel like once you break out of that, you can't ever go back. Like Sarah always says, like, once you are out of that like mold, there's no way that you're going to be able to fit yourself back into that, because you know what's possible. So whether you have an extra 10 minutes a day, an extra 30 minutes a day, you can make this business work. And another thing, people will tell me like, well, what if I don't want to be like a stay-at-home mom? Like, I love my job, like Katrina. I still want to do whatever it is, teacher, whatever it may be. That's great. Then do it. But this will allow you to fast track your goals. This will allow you to not have to pick and choose whether picking up extra shifts or taking that vacation. It's not that you have to do this and only this. That's an option, but you definitely don't have to do that. I was just sick and tired of being away from my kids. And I know a lot of people who love their work, and that's amazing too. I would never knock someone for not wanting to be home with their kids. Sometimes I'm like, why am I here? Like, why am I continuing to be here with these children who are driving me crazy every day? Like, someone get me the heck out of here. But, I loved hair too. I absolutely loved what I did until it became the thing that I despised, because it was the one thing that was keeping me away from watching my son learn how to ride a bike. It was going to be the one thing keeping me away from being able to breastfeed my daughter as long as I wanted to and not have to pump in a lunchroom. So there's tons of fears. I feel like we all go through the same what ifs. Like, all of us. It's just maybe tweaked a little bit, but for the most part, I haven't enrolled a single person over the last 7 years that was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make it to the top. Like, everyone comes in with fears, with reservations. And I would say 99.9% of the people that have joined my team have never done anything like this before. So the fears are there. They are very real. They are very present. But the good thing is that I've paved that way. And for me, Sarah was the one that paved that way. So she just told me, this is what I did and this is what works. So I was like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to do. This is what she's saying worked. So now for you, you have more than enough people to help you manage your time crunches, if that's what you're worried about. Manage, if you aren't comfortable with knowing what to say, it's okay. You don't have to. You have us. If you don't know how to, do a specific thing, or you don't know how you're going to fit this in your day, you don't know how, working a full-time job and being a mom and doing all the things, you literally will learn along the way. And that's exactly what we're here for. And that's one thing that I love too, is that I've never, ever, ever felt alone in this business, especially in the beginning when I was completely clueless and I had no idea what I was doing. I was never alone. I always had someone there to help me and to guide me and to show me. Because at the end of the day, I was told, my sponsor, like, I don't know what I'm doing, but if you tell me what to do, I will do it. And that's just kind of like how I've always worked. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but if you tell me, I will do it. And I feel like that's kind of why I've gotten to where I'm at, is because it's not that I don't want to work. Kind of like Sarah said, she like was ready to work at the age of 12 and it was probably not legal, but I'm not scared of hard work. I'm a hard worker. I was more scared of just not knowing what to do. And once you realize that you don't have to know what to do, because there's a heck of a lot of people in here that know exactly what to do and that are going to help you, it kind of just takes the fear out of the equation. And you're like, okay, well, let's let's do it.
I just love, love, love all that. I'm over here just shaking my head and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And you're like, I got a $25 gift card. I'm like, I didn't even get that at the school. Like last week, the superintendent, stocked the refrigerator with Pepsi. And it was like, yay, teachers are back. There's some Pepsi. And I'm nice. And what it works when I grabbed that $10,000 bonus, like you guys are saying, it was mind blowing for me. Like I went from being a broke teacher to being a teacher that had money. And it's a really weird thing. You're still teaching, you've got that money coming in and you're catching those bonuses. And I remember people saying, are they real though? Like, do they pay you in like cash? And I'm like, well, I don't know what you think they're paying me in, but yeah, like I just bought a car. So it's definitely real money. And then bought my kids cars as they turned 16. And I was the cool mom that had kids that are 2 years apart. So every 2 years somebody are and It Works did that every 2 years for us. And so yeah, I'm so many yeses and so many head nods when you're speaking and when you're both talking, because this is so real. And I know so many people think, oh, well, she got lucky or she joined at the right time. And it's like, well, I've stayed with it for almost 7 years. So anytime in those 7 years could have been the right time. I tend to work from my car. Drusilla, also known as Bella Martinez because of hybrid teaching, is on tonight. I signed her up in a Fry's parking lot. Like that's what we do. We go wherever, we work wherever. You work this business into your life. I have wrapped people in my bathroom when I was teaching preschool at the school, like in the preschool bathroom. Like I just bring it in and do it wherever. It's so easy to work this into your life and to truly, truly change your life. I know that the moment I realized what really was happening, because it just sort of happens, you hit your little goal and then you make a bigger one and then a bigger one and then you get a bonus and it's just snowballing. And when I got my 1099 from It Works, and it was more than my W-2 from school, and I was making more annually here than there, and I was going there all day, every day, like working my butt off, and this was bigger. It just blew my mind. This opportunity is huge. It's our just job to share it with all of you, because somebody invited you here tonight because they believe this is something you need in your life, or they believe you would be good at this, or they just want you on their team. That's the cool thing about this is I'm not going to sign up somebody I don't want to work with. Like, so if they invited you here, they want you here because we're building teams of women who empower each other and who boost each other up. And these are the girls that I talk to every single day about the most random things, because you really build some true friendships in this company. So it's just a beautiful experience for friendship, for freedom, for everything, your finances. It's such a great opportunity. And those products, what about those products? Like my hair has never been this long. I usually cut it, that's why, but amazing, amazing products. So whoever invited you here tonight, get back with them and they're going to help you get enrolled and get joined. And like we said, I also joined pretty not knowing what I was doing. Ignorance on fire was the way I went, but we know what to do and we can teach you all of the things that we've learned through the years. So I'm excited to meet some new people.
Yay, thank you. And thank you if you were and you hung on with us. Like I said, we actually just love getting to be on here. So many of us, before all things changed in the world, right, in 2020, we would do the coffee dates. Like we wanted to see you. It just means a lot to us. So that's why we hop on these and we offer them. So if you got to listen in tonight, we really appreciate you being here and hanging out with us. And we hope to be able to see you a lot more on our working Zoom so that we can work towards your goals while we are working towards ours. So have a good night, you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.